Hi there, and welcome to Draw With Me. I'm Danny Gregory, and every Thursday we get together here, we pick a topic, and we just spend an hour drawing well or poorly or anywhere in between. It doesn't really matter. The idea is to have fun while making drawing, and of course, we always have fun with JJ, the source of all fun.
Happy Thursday. Thank you. I don't think I've ever been...
I know.
I mean, it's far away from the truth.
As soon as the words came out of my mouth, I thought, really?
Walk it back. Walk it back.
Exactly.
But you know what was fun? Those cartoon dogs.
I know. It
Supremely
was so nice
fun.
To see. It was so nice to see, first of all, how accurate most people's versions of it were, that they really captured the personality, the identity, the particularity of those critters. And I also saw some people sneaking in additional non-sanctioned cartoon dogs in there.
I appreciate that.
I don't know.
I'm a fan of
breaking
improvisation. You know what? Let's break rules. Let's break rules. That should be a New Year's resolution.
As a rule, I never break rules.
To break rules.
So speaking of breaking rules and New Year's resolutions, that's our subject for today, which is, well, it's the 16th today of January, which means you've had 2 weeks to stick to your resolutions, and now it's time to get real and cast them aside.
I am doing dry January, and I was looking at the calendar yesterday, and I was like, oh, it's over. I want a beer.
You've stuck to it pretty well.
Yeah. I always find it is a good project, but, right around the 15th, you start to think, oh, I miss the taste, the wonderful feeling of carbonation of hops and barley brewed to perfection sliding down my throat. So
your liver thanks you.
Yes.
So are you generally a New Year's resolution person besides dry January?
Yeah, I feel like, I think of it as December is a little bit of a bacchanal. We let it all hang out. We eat a lot of celebratory foods. It's kind of cold, so maybe we don't go and work out as much. We put off like chores because you're trying to do things that are more fun, and you spend time going to parties if you're not us, but we think we're going to go to parties. So that kind of thing. You want to watch Elf like 3 or 4 times. January is a time when you're like, okay, we got to tighten up. We're going to work out. We're going to eat fewer carbs. For me, dry January. We also, around here, we talk about a million projects to do to our house. And, generally like live a more virtuous life. And it lasts until about January the 16th. And then we say we're going to get Five Guys cheeseburgers for dinner, which we might do tonight.
Sharon Yoker says she didn't make any resolutions.
Sharon's already perfect. We know that.
I would say, I make resolutions all the time, not just on New Year's, so I think that it's always good to try to come up with new habits to stick to. But what we're going to focus on today is, it's a different kind of drawing than we do on a regular basis. Regularly, we come with some kind of reference material, reference photography, and we say, okay, we're going to draw this particular thing, and everybody kind of draws that picture. But every so often we do something which is, it might be a bit of a stretch for you, but I think that that's not a bad thing, which is to just kind of draw from your imagination. And I don't mean drawing, pixies and vampires. I mean being able to conjure up a picture and draw it. And it doesn't have to be very detailed. What I like about this particular project, and if you've ever done the gratitude journal with us, that's kind of how it works too, where you think of you have a topic, like for instance, let's say you want to drink less, and then you think of a way to represent it visually, and then you just draw that thing. So it doesn't have to be a great drawing. It just has to be kind of recognizably a symbol of whatever that thing is. So the idea today is we're going to go through, JJ and I put together a list, but I would love for you to provide some resolutions too. So they may be things that you've resolved to do, but they may be things you haven't or that you've heard of or you thought would be interesting. So we have a big list, and believe me, they're not our resolutions. Not by a long stretch, but they're
common.
Well, one of our resolutions is to come to Draw With Me with a plan, and not to just wing it. So we sat down and we have a list, and we have probably like 20 things on it. So, but we are looking to improve it based on your contributions.
So Courtney already put a great one in the chat, and it's something I think we should do.
Which is
listen to a new to me music album once a week.
Oh, I like that.
Love that.
Absolutely, yeah. So, that I think is a kind of resolution that I really like, which is expanding yourself. Mm-hmm. It's not denying yourself. It's not like no more drinking, no more, no more knife fighting, no more getting neck tattoos, but just like trying something new and adding to it. So that is what we're going to be working on, and I think we will listen to. Listen to one new to me music album per week.
Let's do it.
Okay, do you want to start there?
Do it. Sure.
Okay, well,
Awesome.
we're going to start with Courtney's idea, and then so I'm going to do like a little one. And
Jace just put a good one in there too.
Okay, but let's focus.
Oh, they're rolling in.
That's one of my resolutions, is to focus and not be distracted by you. Okay, so I'm gonna draw. I think I'm gonna make it a record, just because it's more interesting to draw than an MP3, right? So it doesn't have to be a masterful drawing. It just has to be, however you would represent this. And a lot of times, you may never have drawn a record before, and this is the opportunity to do that. And
licorice pizza.
A record player is something I haven't even really looked at in a long time, but
You could do one of those old-timey ones, like with the horn.
true. But I'm doing a hi-fi. So when was the last time you listened to a new to you record?
Not that long ago. So there's a band I really enjoy called Saint Etienne, and they haven't had anything new for quite some time. And then I heard they had a new album, and I played it. Oh my gosh, they took a hard left. I mean, this music was so chilled out that I think it can only be used for napping. I mean, it's like too chill even for a massage. It's purest relaxation. So kind of great in that category, but it was not exactly what I was looking for at that time. Like I was, I got myself kind of in the zone. Like I had the fireplace going. I had a comfy blankie. I had pugs. I had, probably a beverage of choice because it was December. And then this thing just put me to sleep. But that's okay. That's okay.
Well, I think that brings up another interesting point when it comes to music, is how often do you actually listen to
a whole album?
Like sit down, when we were in high school, we used to do that, right? You'd have a friend come over, you got a new album, you'd take it out, you'd put it on, you'd sit there on the floor and you'd listen to it, and you'd look at the album cover and you'd look at the liner notes, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I mean, But music used to be designed that an album would tell a complete story, and now I think it's sort of focused on singles.
Yeah, but I think it's hard to make generalities. And plus, a new to me means you could listen to, an album from the distant past.
Yeah.
And it's new to you. So I think that's...
So Mitch Curry just popped in and said, Pink Martini is a new discovery. Pink Martini is awesome. We're longtime Pink Martini fans.
You went to see them live not long ago,
I went to see them live not long ago, but I've seen them live many, many, many times. Originally when I was living in Portland, like they had some relationship with the place I was working. One of the owners there, in fact, one of the, I can't remember now his last name, Thomas, he played at the memorial service for this friend of mine, played the piano amazing.
At Jim's?
No, at Dan's. Oh. Yeah. They're impressive musicians.
All right, so I'm done. I've done this little...
I think you did great.
Thank you.
I mean, I think it's undeniable what that is, that it's a record player.
And I'm gonna letter it later on. I don't want to letter it now because then I'll have wet ink sitting around and that could be bad. So, should we do one from our list?
Sure.
Okay, so...
So what, I mean, we have some of the obvious ones. I mean, we could do drinking less, because I am, in fact, doing drinking less.
Okay, so let's do drinking less.
Okay.
Now, this first one was a positive. Like, here, you're doing a thing. Drinking less is a little harder, because it's like, what do you show?
I mean, I think you could put, like, a wine glass with an X through it.
Right, but then we're Xing, but maybe it's even more of a storytelling thing. Maybe it's like a liquor bottle in a cage.
In jail.
It's funny, like I think I'm gonna draw it that way. But you guys think of your own way of doing it. How would you say I'm drinking less? Maybe it's a really tiny glass. It's a big liquor bottle.
No, that's a shot glass. Then you stop drinking beer and you're only drinking like shots of, what do people drink shots of? Vodka, tequila, that's not drinking less.
Mine's going to be a wine bottle.
Okay.
So it's clearly something that you would
empty bottles upside down. That's a suggestion for you.
Oh, that could be the opposite, though. That could be like, I drained it. Right. But, so this is kind of a weird story, but, my grandparents lived in Pakistan when I was a kid, and my grandfather was a Freemason, whatever that means. And one of the things at his lodge was in Lahore, Pakistan. And you know who an early member of that lodge was Rudyard Kipling. Does that ring a bell?
Of course.
Okay. So Rudyard Kipling, of course, who wrote Jungle Book and many other books, he was a member of that lodge. And they had what was one of his decanters. His like whiskey decanters, because of course, being a British colonial, he had to have that.
I would imagine it was gin. No?
No, it could be scotch.
Yeah, well, anyway.
And the top of it was silver, and it had a lock in it. Like you had to put a key in the top of the thing to unlock it, and that was to stop the servants, quote unquote, from stealing his liquor.
It's like a chastity belt.
Right, exactly. So if you want to have a belt, you have to undo the chastity belt. Yeah. And my grandfather had that thing. I don't know. He probably stole it. I don't know why.
But he didn't have the key.
I don't know. Yeah, he did. In fact, my mother has it now.
Oh, that's funny.
And I'm probably going to inherit it.
We'll see.
So it'll be our dry January icon. I will forbid you to have access to the key.
I'm doing pretty good with my self-restraint. I'm also trying to exercise a whole lot because at the end of the month, I'm going on vacation without Danny. I'm going with my girlfriends to a fabulous location. I'm going to Punta Cana, where I've never been, and I think there are, 8 of us total, and we're going to be on a beach, and we are not going to be we're going to be experiencing wet February together in Punta Cana.
Now, don't most women lose weight and get in shape to impress their husbands, not to impress other women? Not that I'm not impressed by you.
I mean, I think you love me just how I am, so I don't need to.
That's what I tell you.
Yeah, that's true.
But I love you more when you take me on vacation.
I can't help it if you're a workaholic. Sometimes I have to plan vacation around you.
All right, so what do you think? There it is.
Yeah, that definitely reads. I mean, I do think you should put a red X through it. I do. I think that's the simplest way to say.
I agree.
Or you could put a calendar behind it and say January.
It's getting complicated.
Yeah.
I think if you have this and then it says drink less underneath it,
okay,
you'll kind of figure it out.
Okay.
Because I think otherwise we're going to be Xing out everything. So I think we should try and think of ways of doing it that isn't exercising. That isn't excising.
Okay.
So speaking of exercising, so there are a few different ways we could do exercising. We could just do it generically, exercise more. What if your resolution was to run a marathon? Or to...
Well, we had kind of a funny idea yesterday because we have one of those Peloton bikes. And we were saying, what if you portrayed that with laundry hanging off of it? This is an actual thing that happens in our house. So it would be
exercise bicycle.
Accurate.
So let me point out something to you, which is we have already failed at our resolution, which was this is going to be about failing at resolutions. And now it's just become about resolutions. And remember we had a whole violent argument about this yesterday?
We always argue about Draw With Me. I somehow manage to trigger Danny every time because he'll be like, I have this great idea. And then I'll be like, here's why that's dumb. And then we'll have like a 20-minute fight. And then we resolve on something. And then it's like just back to like it never happened. I don't know why.
That's one of our resolutions.
I don't know why we don't like break the patterns as we're both keenly aware of it. But yeah, it's a tradition.
So anyway, I think we have just defaulted to a list of resolutions. The reason that you objected to it was because you said it's January 16th. It's too late to be doing just resolutions. But I think this is just a reminder of resolutions and whether or not you stick to them.
What was the first thing we said when we got on today? It was, we're breaking the rules, man. Rule breakers. So
all right, so that's
there
one
you
of our
have
rules.
it.
So we're breaking the rules by being expected. All right, so I'm going to draw an exercise bike. What the hell does an exercise bike look like? Okay. I think I know. But that just shows how long since I've been on the exercise bike.
You have not. I'm going to out you. You have not ridden it lately. And I rode it at least once this week.
That should be obvious to everybody who watches the show and has seen my portly physique. All right, I'm inventing an exercise bike because I can't quite think of what they look like. So an exercise bike obviously doesn't have a front wheel.
It does have a front wheel.
Shoot, it does? Why?
It totally. Do you want me to go take a picture of it and come back for you? I mean, I could do that very quickly.
I can just pull it up.
I mean, it really does have a wheel and handlebars. It just has like a base. It has like a stand. It's an actual bike, like on a stand.
Oh, you're right. It does have It does have a sort of. It does have one that looks kind of like. That's annoying. All right.
Danny vaguely recognizes the Peloton that we've owned since. When did we get it? 2019. We were early to the party on the Peloton.
I mean, I'm usually so huffing and puffing with my head down that I'm not really looking at the bike. But
oh, this is a good one. Art Journey with Cindy said she did no buy 2025. I love that. Does
that mean you're just heterosexual?
It means you don't go shopping. You use, you reuse. all of that good stuff. She lasted 14 days. So this is exactly it. It's like you get to the 15th and you're like, I'm a little bored with this journey I've put myself on.
All right, so I resolved not to have reference, but here's some reference.
We're breaking the rules.
Okay, I'm just going to look at it, then I'm going to put it away. I'm not going to draw. I'm going to look at it and then draw it. Okay, it's going away now. All right. Okay. I'm already forgetting what it looks like. Okay, but it's.
Ooh, Cindy Zick is being a masochist. She said, "Oh yes, I'm doing that. Especially no buy art supplies. Hashtag use my stash." That's virtuous, but also
masochistic.
Painful. Yeah, I would say painful.
Okay. Why did I pick this topic?
Hi, Zoe.
Oh, yeah, something like that. And then it has a seat here somewhere.
Yeah. You know, we've even done a whole show about how notoriously hard it is to draw a bicycle from imagination. This camera's driving me nuts.
All right, I think that this is okay. How does it stand up? Does it have legs?
It has a stand, yeah, like a base that is...
Okay. Yeah, it has. That's right. It has a thing that comes out here. All right, so that's my exercise bike.
How are you going to get the laundry? Like a hanger?
Okay, so now, but here's the question: is like, drink less, listen to new music. Those are showing you doing it, and now here suddenly we're showing you not doing it. So it's confusing.
We're breaking rules. I mean,
no, I think I'm just doing an exercise bike.
Okay.
I'm doing an exercise bike because I'm showing the resolution. I've resolved to do that.
At least one person in the chat said they were going to drink more this year.
That's a good resolution.
I should be friends with that person.
People are going to think that you're just a drunk.
We do like half a dozen shows about booze over the course of the 52 weeks of the year. So
we're adults.
Yeah, we've earned the right to drink what we want.
All right. That's my exercise bike. Take it or leave it.
Okay.
That was tough. All right.
Someone else mentioned something we also talked about.
Yeah.
Which is cook meals, better meals, and generally eat more healthfully and not eating fast food. So there's a way you can show the positive, which is cook like healthy meals and show carrots and vegetables, or say, a Happy Meal burger with an.
I'm going to encourage people to be healthy, and I'm going to draw. So there's some carrots.
I mean, a soup pot. If you think about like what goes in an onion, some carrots, celery.
Is that eating healthy? I guess it is.
I think soup is. I mean, honestly, soup is a savior. Soup is like, what was that stupid tagline? Soup is good food, but it is. And over the last 2.5 days, I have been putting up homemade stock that I made from chicken carcass and all of the vegetables that were like in our drawer that were starting to go off. It just all went into the kettle and then made just this incredible stock, which I then freeze into cubes, like large cubes, into a reusable baggie in the freezer, and you just add it to like everything that you make. You can add it to pasta. You can add it, obviously, soup. We eat a lot of soup, but having the foundation of your own stock, no preservatives in there.
Our freezer, you can't put anything in our freezer because it's full of JJ's stock portfolio.
I have seafood stock. I have chicken stock. We just finished. I had turkey stock. It's done. And then I do have vegetable stock. And I gotta say, it's a small thing you can do for yourself that improves your life a lot, in my opinion.
Soon we're going to be bringing out JJ's new show, Cook With Me.
I think cooking also is a common resolution for people, right? It's like,
Is it?
well, cooking more, right? Instead of just having a frozen pizza or, getting takeout or whatever, it's like prepare the meal. So cooking, I mean, it involves many steps because you've got to do some prep, right? In order to pull this off, unless you're like a genius who can go in the fridge and see, a carton of eggs, a cube of cheese, and, a thing of chili oil.
I made my carrots green by mistake. I think it's also creative.
It is creative, but you have to think about, okay, who's eating this meal and how are you going to satisfy all involved? Because inevitably you're going to get somebody with a prerequisite, right? You can't eat that, or you don't prefer that, or whatever. And then you've got to figure out a recipe, and then you've got to shop, and then you've got to make sure your inventory of like pantry essentials is up to snuff. Like you often think you have cumin, and then you're like, oh, it's gone. So you're
talking about me.
Yeah. I mean, we did this last week, I'll be honest.
I wrote an essay, which you can, if you subscribe to Danny's essays, you can read it tomorrow, in which I wrote about my cooking misadventures. I don't want to go into it now and ruin it. You'll have to read the essay, but
yeah, it was a big project. And it was right after Draw With Me. We folded up the cartoon dogs, and then we went shopping, and then we righteously destroyed our kitchen. We used every pot. We're chopping madness, prep stations, cutting boards, knives, all of it, colanders, everything. I mean, it was it was chaos, and it took hours and hours. And
yeah, let's leave it there.
Because, I'm not going to reveal my essay. I'm not going to reveal.
So here's I've got. It's sort of various, hard to determine exactly what they are, things.
But I think that is a perfect example of one, cooking at home, and two, clearly those are veggies. So I think that's good.
Yeah. So there's a pepper, carrot, celery, onion, garlic, and a knife.
Yummy soup. That's all you need, and your stock, of course.
The question is, do I have room to put something in there? Depends what it is. What are we thinking? How about stop biting your nails?
Okay, yeah, that's one you've had before. You've written essays about that project.
Biting my nails is something I've done my whole life, and now I've kind of I kind of started up a little bit more recently, but so I'm going to just draw a perfect hand. Perfect gleaming nails.
That's a big pinky, man.
I have a big pinky. I had my pinky extended. Had some work done on it in Switzerland in the 80s. Had a bit of spare cash. Decided to do some body improvement, and there. That is a good-looking hand.
I like that it has a stripy cuff so that we know it's you.
Yeah, what the hell are you laughing about? It's exactly what my hand looks like. Have we had any more resolutions suggested?
A lot, actually. So this is a good one. Drink more water.
Okay.
I think a lot of people come up with that because I don't know about you. I don't like the taste of water. That's why I drink these. You know, they're sparkly waters with flavor, and I think there's a debate about whether sparkly carbonated water is not as hydrating as regular. I just can't believe in that. I have to believe that's a myth because I really don't. I don't love drinking water. I don't like it. I don't think it tastes good.
I love water. In fact, most of me is water.
It's true. If I'm gonna drink water, it's gotta have ice. And as Danny mentioned, our freezer has very little room in it because it's full of.
We have a refrigerator because of JJ's ice obsession that produces 2 different kinds of ice. All right, now you're probably wondering what I'm doing here, and you'll understand in a minute.
Oh, a tap, a faucet.
Yeah.
Jace made a really great comment. The sparkling water you drink is more hydrating than the regular water you don't
drink.
Thank you. Yes, I agree. I agree.
All right, I'm quite pleased with that.
You got to get a droplet going, though, don't you think?
Again, you're living in the past.
Oh, yeah.
Living in the future.
Sorry, delay. That's such a weird but awesome drawing. I love this one.
I think it has to have rosy cheeks because it's bursting with health. Happy and peppy, bursting with love, singing and dancing to heaven above. All right, there he is, drinking more water. And happily drinking more water. All right, so make sure that you leave room for your captions, which I kind of almost didn't do, but you want to put captions underneath each picture. Perhaps you do, you don't have to. Your pictures might speak for themselves, but
Mary added an interesting one in the chat. I'll see if you wish to do this. Mm-hmm. Mary has resolved to finally get a colonoscopy this year. Mary, we are together. I got my first colonoscopy in September. And let me just say, my doctors had been urging me to get this done for a full, I want to say 13 years. It took me 13 years. It wasn't bad. But I understand the fear.
all right, I think that speaks for itself.
Oh my goodness.
Say no more.
I totally thought you were drawing a colon.
Close. But yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow.
Moving on.
So, funnily enough, someone put the poop emoji, and that reminded me, we talked about a common resolution is to swear less. We thought the poop poop emoji could be a good signifier of, I'm going to say, fewer curse words.
Now you've kind of ruined it, though.
Oh, sorry.
Because the whole idea was supposed to be come up with your own version of it.
Are you making this person bleeding? The colonoscopy person?
No. They got a little overheated. But I dialed them back a bit.
Are you gonna caption this one to say Mary? I already did mine.
Get Mary a colonoscopy.
Not me. And I think my doctor said I don't have to do one for like 10 more years or something like that. So
yeah. I think it's coming back from the framing shop soon. We're gonna hang it in the living room. It's gonna be great. All right. How about call mom?
Yeah, that was definitely on the list, and it could be like just generally show up for family more, right? Maybe not mom per se in everyone's case, but it could be, just be in touch. Be in touch. So I think people that follow us on this channel regularly know my mother is 93 and she is living in a memory care facility with 10 residents in it. And we went over on Saturday and we didn't call to tell her we were coming because we kind of know what her schedule is on Saturdays. And we got there and she was so glum. She was sitting in her room with blasting Turner classic movies and just really glum, like just sitting in her chair. She'd had a bad night, had a health thing happen that made her upset. And we showed up and we had a card game that we like to play together. And we said, okay, just like we're getting the cards set up and it took us like 45 minutes. It was not, and by the time we left, she was laughing. She was like, it just turned her frown upside down. It just made the biggest difference to her.
You know what would have made an even bigger difference?
If we let her win.
If you'd let her win because you went on to win.
No, she wouldn't respect me if I let her win. She raised me a certain way.
Well, I would have respected you if you'd let me win. All right, there's mom on the phone.
Drew said, wouldn't it be great if a person just joined the live feed and didn't know why there was a dude bent over with an arrow pointing to his butt?
Welcome to Draw With Me.
You're in the right place. Axel just joined and said, what's today's prompt?
Today's prompt is...
It's tracking around the idea of New Year's resolutions.
It's complicated
because some that you've perhaps failed at already on January the 16th and others that you're committed to keeping going because they're so good for you.
But I would just say my advice is go with the flow. Just lean into it.
What's happened in the past, it doesn't concern you. We just keep going forward.
And next time, show up on time so you're not confused.
Well, we're glad you're here.
Welcome. Just stay. Believe me, it's going to be worth it. All right, so there she is.
All right, here's another one from the crowd that we absolutely agree with.
Which is?
Less social media, more Sketchbook School. How about that?
Sketchbook School has its own social media, though.
True.
All right, so I would say less social media is one, and then I think we should do draw more as another one.
Art before breakfast?
Art before breakfast. So I'm going to do, how would we do less social media? We could,
I think
again,
like
we
the
could put
phone.
phone
because we talked about just
But what about, how do we show
fewer
that it's
devices.
less? How do we show that it's less without doing an X through it? How about putting a phone in a safe?
with a little lock on it?
Or maybe just a phone with like a chain around it with a lock.
How about a phone with the word off on the screen?
Okay, we can do that. It's just a phone is. I've drawn phones before, and they're rectangles. So the question is, how do we? Oh, I know. You can just draw a lock on it.
Okay, I like
Right?
that. Phone in jail. That's cute.
So it's just a phone, but it has a lock on the screen. I'm going to draw an old style phone that has a little button on the bottom.
Oh, yeah. Someone mentioned you could do the social media icons with prison bars over them. That's kind of cute.
That's true. That's
I
cute
like
too.
that.
Well, I've already drawn a phone though.
Is it a phone, though?
It might be a metronome, but it's a phone. Trust me. I know. I drew it.
It's a BlackBerry. You put that little trackball on the bottom, you're living in
I just
2005.
said it's an old style iPhone that has the button on the bottom. Are you listening to me? There we go. It's got a little lock on it. I think you can tell what that is. No?
Well,
What do you think?
probably less confusing than the bent over dude.
That's why people don't get
I don't know.
colonoscopies.
We are going to get like banned on YouTube.
Why? We're encouraging good health.
Yeah, it's true.
Nothing wrong with that. All right, where are we next? So do we want to do
Well,
art before breakfast?
or were we going to try to? Yeah. What about just like showing like a pen and a sketchbook
And a breakfast?
and a teacup? I mean, the iconic art before breakfast is the teacup.
Right. So let's draw a sketchbook. I think I'm going to make it the kind that has some pages. And it has a cover. And it has the drawing on it. And then next to it is a cup.
Coffee.
Yeah.
Although a few people mentioned in the chat their resolution was drink less coffee or give up coffee. Man, I would have a massive headache. I don't even drink coffee, but we drink tea, and I will admit I drink one Diet Coke daily. Controversial, but I'm not giving it up. You'll pry it from my cold dead hands. That's all I have to say on that topic.
I just guzzle out of the tap.
I would say you drink way more caffeine than I do.
Yeah. Got to keep up with you.
Because you
You're
drink
high
tea,
energy.
you drink tea and coffee. I definitely don't. I
Drink
don't. I
2
don't
cups of
dabble with
tea
coffee.
and 1 cup of coffee.
I often only have 1 cup of tea, and then I have a Diet Coke in the afternoon.
I think I'm pretty much done with this one.
Yeah. Oh my God, Cindy Zick, 9 cups of strong black and green matcha tea. Okay, yard clippings.
I would just eat like a handful of soil. All right. So what else do we do?
I mean, you have
2,
15
3,
minutes, so
4,
if you're
5.
going to caption
1, 2,
these.
3, 4, 5. I think we could probably manage to do 5 more.
Okay.
I think we could fit in another row.
Okay, so
How about swearing less? We did talk about that, and I did have that desire to do the thing that you
we also
said.
had home improvement, which you can keep in the back of your head. We had read more, which is popular, right? Quit smoking. I don't know. Does anybody still smoke?
Those are from previous. Unfortunately, my turd looks like a cinnamon roll. Doesn't it? It's like a smiling cinnamon roll. What does a turd emoji look like? Yeah, it's not far off. It has bigger eyes. Turds have big eyes. But they don't have noses. You know why?
Because you don't want to smell that.
You don't want to smell yourself.
You don't want to smell that.
All right, this is very... Okay, this is... I think I'm just going to have... This is kind of breaking the rule because it's showing swearing as opposed to showing not swearing, but...
I mean, it's also, this is what happens when you drink more water and eat more vegetables.
Oh, so it's about pooping daily?
And when you get a colonoscopy, the day before the colonoscopy.
Oh, man. Is the viewership just plunging right now?
I think, I think we all need to laugh. We all need to laugh.
But there's a limit to how much we need to laugh. That's my resolution. Laugh less. All right, there we go. That's... Again, these will be clearer once we put a caption in it. All right, I liked, you said home improvement.
Home improvement. I mean, that is we have 5 like on the front burner projects that we somehow just can't motivate and complete.
I've done a lot of that stuff.
Yeah,
You're terrible at it.
I am. I have a, what is it? Task aversion? Task aversion?
Laziness?
No, it's not laziness. It's not. Mary is the true hero of this episode. She said, for years, I thought the turd emoji was a chocolate kiss. She said, my friends were confused.
That's like I remember hearing a story about a woman who thought that LOL meant lots of love. And so a friend of hers wrote to say that like that some relative had passed away and she was like, LOL.
That sounds like something I would do. How about a ladder? I think you need a ladder in this home improvement.
Coming up. What else? Maybe a couple of nails.
I mean, I feel like a paintbrush. I mean, our house definitely needs a coat of paint inside and out, but it's very hard to decide what color. I have a difficulty with that. I mean, I'm sure the artists in this community can relate to like feeling paralysis about that choice, because that's a big choice. The outside of our house, so when we moved here during the pandemic, we rented this house. And as with many, many structures in Phoenix, Arizona, our house is putty colored, the exterior. It's like straight beige. It's not cute. It's not cute. But also, like, what should it be?
I think it should be white.
No.
Easier to draw on.
No, I don't think it should be white. I think that's too stark. Again, hence the indecision. Mary clearly is a loyalist because she said Danny did declutter his studio.
Yeah, thank you,
Made a whole
Mary.
video about that.
Thanks for
Yeah,
pointing
he
that out.
really did.
Have you watched that video?
I did watch that video, and it was that it exhausted me, honestly. And I felt like you accomplished enough for the both of us. That's really, I took the credit. I was busy making stock and the cake and...
It's true. You were feeding me while I was relentlessly cleaning.
I was working on other resolutions.
All right, we have probably time for one or two more. That's about it. So,
do you want to go for smoking?
I'd like to go for smoking.
Or now, as the case may be, vaping?
No, now people chew those like packets of, it's like chewing tobacco in a tea bag or something.
Is it Betel?
No. You don't know what I'm talking about?
No.
That's like a big thing now. How about worry less?
Yeah, worry less is definitely on our list. We definitely are worry warts. And it doesn't help anything to worry. It doesn't help anything.
That's what I'm worried about.
Axel said they're called pouches.
Pouches, right? Yeah, but
I've never heard of this.
Oh, it's a huge thing.
You
now.
learn on
this show. It's a huge thing.
Well, they sound kind of diabolical. Dan would like to know what pen you're using.
I would refer you to the description underneath this video,
No,
in which I list all of my art supplies. I went to great trouble to do that, but I'm using a Tombow Fudenosuke pen, WSBH 150. But you can find out more about it if you look at the thing below.
Yeah.
It's a really good pen. I really like it. I recommend you try it out. All right, and then one more, final one.
All right, whoever puts the first thing in the chat will do it.
Okay. Meanwhile, I'm going to start lettering, and then I'll come back to this.
Yeah, first suggestion in the chat is going on the page. Wow, silence is deadly. All right, Gina says manage time. Oh, Jace had a good one that she put in the chat earlier. Try new fruits. I think that's fun. All right, manage time, learn new hobbies. How many fruits are there? Fruit adventure.
I feel like I've tried every fruit just about, no?
Stand up straight. Ooh.
Okay, so the first one was listen to...
Go to bed earlier.
Jenny, I need your help.
Manage time.
I need your help.
Manage time.
No. I need your help. I'm starting to letter these things.
It was new album weekly.
Alrighty, and this is drink less.
Or you could say dry January.
No, because drink less is what this is a drawing of. It's not a drawing of January. Exercise. Eat. Should I say cook more? Cook at home.
Home cooking.
Cook.
Healthy cooking.
At home. Stop. Nail. Biting. Then we have drink water.
Yeah.
And then we have just colonoscopy.
Ooh, Ellery says there are over 3,000 types of fruit in Brazil. Danny definitely hasn't tried them all.
I've tried about 2,800 of them. There's a few that I'm...
that's perfect for 200 new fruits in a year. That's a life goal.
My life goal is to come to Brazil.
I agree. Let's go to Brazil.
So what should I say with the phone one? Is it like less social media?
Yeah. Screen time.
Less screen time?
Yeah. Or less devices, less tech. I don't know. I would say screen time.
I'm going to say less screen time. And then art before breakfast?
Yep. I like how we got a little tie-in there, a little like... Branded content. For those who don't know, Danny wrote a book called Art Before Breakfast. It's lovely. And,
swear less.
You can buy it.
Now, home improvement, we need a better way of saying that. Can you think of a better term than home improvement?
Fix up house?
I guess home improvement will do. Does improvement have an E? Improvement. It does have an E.
Jen just popped in late, and I'm grateful for the labels. It's happened. I wonder how many times it's happened that somebody popped in and then immediately departed.
Oh my God, what are these people doing? All right, so what was the last
projects. Projects instead of improvement. People were trying to DIY, give you an easier word to spell.
I'm writing in India ink.
Okay.
You got to be fast. You got to be quick here. Okay, so the last one we were saying was manage time better?
Yeah. Yep, I think that's perfect.
Let me just put a little bit of...
All those years that we did advertising, if you ever see a watch commercial, the time is always the same time. It's like a standard thing in advertising.
It's always 10 past 2. I mean, it's always 10...
10 to 2.
10, no, it's not. It's 10 past 10.
Oh, you're right.
I used to do watch commercials. Manage time. Should I say manage time?
Yeah.
Manage time.
I think that's something we probably all need to work on.
I don't have time to do that.
When you use less screen time, you automatically manage your time better.
Hey, look, it fits perfectly on the screen, too.
It's so cute. It's a cute page.
So now I just want to add, at the bottom, I want to write the title of this piece, which is Resolutions.
Good and bad.
I think just Resolutions 2025.
Sure. Geckonia wants to learn to draw letters like that. Great resolution.
I'm going to probably make a video about lettering pretty soon. I don't know if anybody has watched the new video I just made yesterday, which is about designing your pages. I think you might all enjoy it. All right, Resolutions 2025. It's a wrap.
Look, and you landed the plane right on time.
Thank you.
Done. I'll be interested to see, did folks freeform on this and put in other things?
Yeah, did you put in resolutions of your own that we didn't?
I mean, how many people are going to do the colonoscopy the way you did it will be funny to see next week.
Yes, next week.
Oh, people liked your page designing video. Yeah, that's fun.
Oh, good. Thank you. So anyway, let's talk about what we have on the docket now. Become a member of this channel. We've just reduced the entry price, which is to say you can pay less to be a member. The really cool thing is you can pay more to be a member.
Just support us somehow. We appreciate it.
Whatever you pay, we appreciate it. And I've been making a special video just for members every week. And I've also been releasing videos early for members to see. So become a member. You know, why not? Become a member. We need members. All right. I want to see your resolutions, so please share them on the social media thing of your choice. Unless, of course, your phone is locked and you can't because you made a resolution not to. But put it on the schoolyard, put it on Facebook, put it on Instagram, and tag it, hashtag SBS Draw With Me. SBS is Sketchbook School. What else? Danny'sEssays.com. I have a special essay coming out tomorrow, and it has to do with cooking, it has to do with roses, it has to do with child rearing. It's got everything I know about everything.
Major themes on life.
Essay, yes. My new course, The Creative License, is finally available.
Oh my gosh, we're having so much fun with the creative license.
Yeah, I mean, it's day 16, but even if you start today, you can have day 16 in 16 days. It's 31 days of creative exercises, drawing stuff, mind expansion. It's like microdosing, basically. Creative microdosing, wouldn't you say, JJ?
Sure. I've never microdosed, but I would like to believe this is exactly what this course is.
Yes. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you
Next week.
very soon. Have fun. Bye-bye.
Bye.